Hello and welcome to Art with Mrs. G. In this video I'll give you a quick demonstration of how to draw a face correctly, that is using facial proportions. In other words, putting the features of your face in about the right spot on your head. And in order to do this, to begin with, you need to have a really good look at your face in a mirror. Hello Mrs. G. Look closely at the features on your own face. What shape are your eyes? Are they similar to your family's? What about your eyebrows? Everyone's eyebrows are different. They've got different gaps and they go in different directions, up and down, different angles. What about your nose? Is it a sticky up one like mine, or does it have a bump on it and tip down? How much of your nostrils can you see, depending on the shape of your nose? What about your lips? Have you got a really pointy pair of lips, a little skinny top lip or a thick one? Is the bottom much thicker? It often is. And you will notice that the nose is slightly narrower than your mouth. In fact, the sides of the nose normally lines up to the corner of your eyes, and the mouth is slightly wider. So if you imagine a triangle like that, that helps you to position your mouth. And the mistake that a lot of people make when they're drawing faces is they do the eyes too high up the head. In fact, the eyes sit about on the halfway line. If you drew an oval, your eyes are about halfway up your head. And then if you divided the bottom section into thirds, so a line across here and a line across here, your nose sits at the bottom of that section and your mouth sits on the bottom of that section. And if you divided the top half of your head up again, if you divided that into three sections as well, your eyebrows would be sitting just inside that third, and then your hairline is just about where the next third up starts if you're drawing your hair. So these are all things to think about. And in fact, when you're drawing your ears, if you can actually see them, the ears start at about the same level as your eyes, and then they travel down to about the same level as the base of your nose. When you're looking at your neck, trying to draw this in a portrait, make sure you leave some so it looks nice and normal, but also think the width of your head is also about the width you want to add on for a shoulder that side, and then you take the width of your head and you add it again this side, and that is how you get the shoulders about the right distance. And let me just talk about the eyes as well for a minute, because the space between your eyes is about the same width as one eye. And if I were to measure that, I will be able to fit 5 of them. So 1 here, 2, 3, 4, another eye width, 5, another eye width. And this is how artists make sure that the features on a face look roughly correct. Obviously everyone's unique, and so you will need to adjust it slightly to make it look like you. So let's have a quick go at drawing that now. Using a loose wrist and holding the pencil quite high up, draw yourself an oval. You might want to keep going round, try to get a continuous line, and then when you're happy with your oval, you can tidy it up. But don't press too hard on that pencil, because otherwise it will be hard to remove the lines. And it doesn't matter if the lines are a little bit fluffy. You can see mine are here. I just narrow them down because the hair is going to cover this anyway, and there'll be shading around it. So once you've got your basic oval shape, find your halfway point, because this is going to guide us for where to put the eyes. So draw your eye line on. Now you do it really gently. I'm going to do it a bit harder so you can actually see it on my page. I divide it halfway up horizontally and also vertically. And this will guide me to the middle of the nose and positioning all the features symmetrically on each side of the face. So to begin with, we're going to put the eyes on the eye line. Now, if you remember what I said earlier, roughly you can fit 5 eyes across your head. So this gap we're going to do either side of the line. Let's try it out first. There's 1, 2, 3. That works about there, and that works about there. I'll move that over a little. So this will be one eye, so we can draw a sort of leaf shape over that space, and then try to make the other side match that same leaf shape. And you might need to adjust this a bit until it matches very well. And at the end of this leaf shape, you've got the little tear duct. So then you add a little bit on and you can shade that in a little bit darker. Then you want to draw a matching line for the upper eyelid that goes over the top. There we go. So we've got the eyelid now. And then to draw the eyeball in. Now you never see the whole of the white and the coloured part of your eye, the iris. So make sure that you cut the ball off at the top of the eye. And then we've got the black pupil in the centre of your eye. And then, of course, this part of the eye, the iris, is the coloured part. Now, you might want to add a little bit of colour later, but for now, let's do a little bit of pencil shading. Next, we need to add some eyelashes, starting not too near the beginning of the tear duct, a bit further over. We want them going tipping to the side, the eyelashes, and they tend to get longer as they go out. So I'm curving them. They're not straight lines and they're tipping out sideways. Now with the lashes underneath, first of all you want to draw a narrow sort of 1 or 2 millimetre line underneath the eye there, because the eyelashes grow from just beneath the eye, not the inside of the eye. And we only want to see a few little eyelashes underneath. Use a little bit of pencil if you want to just shade over the eyelid there, because it will be a little bit in shadow because it's in a hole. And then come up from the corner of the eye and just go in slightly and look at your own eyebrows. This will be the position of your eyebrow, which is following roughly the same shape as the eye. So I can go up and over and just slightly wider than the eye. The beginning of the eyebrow is usually thicker and then it thins out as it goes. If you take a line down from the eyes, that will show us where the edge of the nose is. Now let's just break this last section down. Some people have got longer noses and the nose will be about halfway down this section, and some people have got shorter noses. But basically, if you want to think about dividing it roughly into third. So this is going to be the base of my nose. And a good way of drawing this, and I'm going to disappear my line off my nose here, is to use one large bubble. Now everybody's noses are slightly different, but if you draw a circle, a big circle with two little overlapping circles, then this helps you to shape the end of your nose. Now let me just check this lines up. So yes, that side of my nose is level with my eye. This side of the nose is not quite level, so I'll take that over a little bit more. So I can now use this to help me to guide the side of my nose, which I can darken up there. And then a little up and down, using those curves to guide me. And I can shade in a bit of nostrils. Now you don't want the entire ball on the top of your nose showing, and everyone's nose is different. So let's just disappear those circles that were guiding us a little. But you do want really just a little bit of shading where that ball used to be. But from now on, really, it's not lines, it's more of a shading exercise. And you want, imagine that you're shading around the edge of a sphere on a curve here. So from this side of the nose, you're shading up and joining that eyebrow. And then shade inside that under the eyebrow where it's in a hole, isn't it? So it's a bit darker, and then shading by the side of the nose. Also you'll have, if you take that smudgy finger, you can put a little bit of shading there under the eye because it is in its eye socket, isn't it? Okay. So after that, we want to join the nose to the mouth. So we want to put the little hole just beneath the nose there. This bottom line here is now going to be where the base of the lips are. And to draw the lips, we can use circles again. So I can balance a couple of large bubbles on there very gently. That's the bottom lip. And then 2 smaller bubbles on the top. And you want to look at how thick your own lips are. I'm now going to think about a triangle coming, so it's coming across the corner of the eye and past the nose there. So it would join the line just up at the top section in the middle here. So my mouth should be about that wide. I'll do it the same here. Triangle past the corner of the eye. About there. So now we use these bubbles, and the darkest line on the mouth is the hole in the middle, because that is a hole and it's in the shade. So think of it as a river. So we've got a dark line that goes through the middle and it goes up and down and up and down. The next darkest line will be the top of your lip. Depending how thick it is and how pointy it is, you'll see the top of your lip. And take it gently down to the corners of the mouth. And then the next line will be underneath those bubbles and then gently up to the corners. And you can shade in very gently. So a bit of shading on that bottom lip. And I like to leave a bit of light reflection on it as well, on the puffy lip where it sticks out. There we go. And a bit of shading on the top lip, but not too much. And if somebody's smiling, they might have a little crease on the side of their face there as well. The next thing to think about is this top section. Again, if I was to divide it roughly into 3 parts, into thirds, let's do that. The eyebrows are falling within that top section, this first section. If I divide the next section up, this is roughly where the hairline is going to be growing from. Here, from the eye line down to the bottom of the nose is where the ears will go. The neck is going to be, you want to probably line it up with the edge of the eyes, so coming from about there. And if I had space, the shoulders would be the same width as the head. And you would draw those on each side. So actually the shoulders on this drawing are going to go off the edge of my page. And now you add your hair. You probably want to be growing your hair out from around this line here. And of course it will come down in front of your ears in some cases. It might go over behind your ears. So adding that hair now, and you can put it in the shade there behind your neck. I can use my overhead shading grip just to darken the hair up a little bit. Bit of shading under the chin. Well, I hope you have a better idea of where the features are on the face now, and that when you do your self-portrait, it's very successful. I was just doing a quick demonstration model, so I'm going to go and have a go at looking really hard in a mirror and doing my own self-portrait now. Goodbye, and thanks for watching Art with Mrs G. See you again soon.